Hello, how are you? Um, we are talking about catfish farming, and this is the channel to come to if you want to get information about successful catfish farming. Now, not just catfish farming, but I like to say ordinary, simple catfish farming. Um, what I concentrate on when I teach on catfish farming is all the things that a farmer can do to cut down on production cost. Because I've said this over and over, the feed is very expensive and it is getting more and more expensive. In order for you to be able to succeed in catfish farming, you must be able to practically, consciously, meticulously cut down on production cost. In other words, you must be able to always be conscious of the fact that I am cutting down on production cost. Your production cost can be anything. It can range from your feeding method, not wasting feed when you feed, and not underfeeding your fishes also. It can also be in terms of power, because you have to change water every day. That means you have to have enough pressure to pump out your water very fast so that you don't spend so much on diesel or petrol. I'm saying this because of where we are, this part of the globe. We do not have, sufficient power supply. So most of the times we create our own power supply through our generating sets, which works on diesel or petrol. Now, if you're able to cut down on your diesel or petrol that you use in your farm daily, you are going to save some bit of production cost. Number 3, you must space out your fishes often. This is what I keep saying all the time. I just have to keep saying these things so that it gets really down to people. Now, if you don't space out your fishes quickly, what happens is this: you feed and feed. A few of them are shooting out, they are growing well, but about 70-something% or even 80% are not doing very well. So when you look at your tank, most of the times you have about 20 or so, 30 very big ones, and then you have very little ones, about 200, 300, and then you have some very malnourished, very little. What causes such a thing is because the tank is overcrowded. You can't have an overcrowded tank and then have good results in terms of the quantity of fishes that are doing well. So you must space out quickly until you harvest. So when you space out, you give your fishes enough room to grow. Now, this means that your feed or the feed you are throwing into your ponds, into your tanks, are not wasted. But if they're too jam-packed, you are throwing feed and then 4 or 10 are growing and 200 or so are not, then you have wasted all your feed. Because the rest of them, 200 that are jam-packed, they are eating, but they're not growing. Okay, so this can immensely affect your production cost. Another thing is you must try as much as possible to work on the things that will bring stress to your fishes. Because if your fishes get stressed, they die, and if they die, it affects you. Not only that, when your fishes get stressed, what happens is that you begin to buy all kinds of drugs. You begin to buy all kinds of things to put them in order. It can affect your production cost. When I talk about meticulously saving production cost, it means that even the least money, 1 naira, 2 naira, 3 naira, must be considered big money. Okay. Another thing is going to buy feed, a little bit expensive than normal. Now you have 2 types of outlets where they sell feed. You have the major distributors, and you have little outlets that go to buy from the major distributors. Now these little outlets, if they buy from the major distributors, they cannot sell at the price of the major distributors. They have to sell at least 100 or 150 naira extra so that they can make their profit. So you better seek for the major distributors, and the very good major distributors, and then buy the exact amount that you need to buy so that you don't spend too much money. Somebody's going to be saying, okay, just 15 naira extra. Man, if you put 15 naira extra for every feed you are going to buy, especially for those who are going to be buying a lot of feed, 15 naira extra for every feed you are going to buy for 5 months that you need to breed your fishes to table size, it's going to come up to a lot, and it's going to eat into your profit. So you have to try as much as possible to cut down on production costs through where you buy your feed. I also talk about and like to talk about the usage of foreign feed for a very long time. Our local feeds are very good, okay, but due to impatience, some people like to go buy foreign feed over and over and buy a lot and a lot and a lot till harvest. That is crazy, man. You need to stop at 3 weeks of stocking. You stock fingerlings 3 weeks, and they are maybe post-juvenile, and they can pick 2 mm. Go into local feed immediately. Even the local feeds are expensive, not to talk about the foreign feed. Go into local feed. Local feed will give you good results. I use local feed all through, and they give me fantastic results. Another thing that can increase production costs is careless spending that is caused by multiple counseling, multiple advices. There are some farmers that cannot take counsel from one person. They want to hear from 1 million people. Somebody tells you, oh, this tank is not good, you go change it. Somebody tells you, oh, concrete pond is the best, you go change it. Somebody tells you, oh, tarpaulin pond is the best, you go change it. Somebody tells you, oh, ethane pond is the best, you go do ethane pond. Somebody tells you, oh, give this feed, you go do this, you go give this feed. Somebody says, oh, give this booster. Man, I don't know what's wrong with fellows. You listen and listen and listen and listen, buy. And at the end, you have put so much into production cost, and then you can't balance it because your profit cannot meet up to the amount you have spent. Okay, I've always said it. Listen to one person who is succeeding in catfish farming. No matter how ordinary his advice is, his counsel are, his instructions, his informations are, please listen to it. Sometimes the most ordinary, simple counsel information are the ones that work, especially if this person who is giving it to you, it is working for him. Okay, then use what he has said to you over time. Create your own model on how to handle your farm. But to listen to this, to listen to that, to listen to this, people have asked me questions over and over and over. Is tarpaulin tank good? Is concrete pond good? Somebody told me this. Every pond is good. Everything, ethane pond, tarpaulin pond, concrete pond, they're all fantastic. Everyone is good. It depends on what you want. It depends on what you can afford. It depends on what you have. For those who have their own personal property, they can use concrete pond. For those who don't, they can use tarpaulin pond because it's mobile, and all that. For those who have, you don't mind sorting your fishes, you can use ethane pond. But with ethane pond, it's not easy to sort fishes. I don't even think they sort fishes because I've never used ethane pond before. It's wonderful. It gives you good result. But how do you go sorting fishes? So you see, they're all good. It depends on what you want, where you are, what you have. That's what it is. Okay. So the best thing, listen to 2 people who are into the business and who are also succeeding and who are truthful, who are able to tell you, look, I don't know about this. You go ask somebody else, okay? So this is what it is. Don't listen to everybody because you buy everything and then it will affect you very badly, okay? Let me stop here for today. I will come again. I drop these clips regularly. For those of you who are just listening to me for the first time, please do subscribe to my channel, you know, just so that you can be the first to get these clips when they drop, or you will get the clips when they drop. Thank you very much. My name is Mr. Greg.